In the meantime, Ford is set to unveil a new strategy for Asia today. For more on Ford, I want to bring in George Magliano. He's the senior principal economist at IHS Automotive. George says Ford's Alan Mulally has done a terrific job with Ford being a great success story in the auto industry, no doubt because they didn't have to take that bailout that their two peers in Detroit did. But the stock has not done well so far this year.
Well, I think it's a difficult sell right now. I mean, autos are a cyclical stock. We're afraid of a double dip right now. You've got both GM and Chrysler really making big news, and so I think this is a good move on their part. They got to get out there and get their story out there. And if you look at it globally, they don't have a very good global footprint right now. GM does, and so they've got a really
great footprint in China.
GM does. GM took the bet with Buick, and now they're a top-selling brand. And you've got a market there that's huge and growing by leaps and bounds. And Ford still, unfortunately, is heavily dependent upon North American business for a big chunk of its car and truck sales.
So, George, what's Ford's story then?
Well, first of all, the story is Mulally went out there and got the credit when it was available, didn't take got his credit lined up, didn't take the government money. They've got a global program going, the One Ford program, building cars and trucks throughout the world that are going to be sold globally. You look at the Focus, the Fusion, the Fiesta. They're making a big bet. It's keeping their costs down. Alan Mulally has really, changed the bureaucracy there, got rid of that,
right.
And really cleaned the place up. They moved quickly. They committed to the program, and they just got to, continue to build on it. That's the whole key there.
And build on it in Asia. I mean, the China story is the big one for them. So what do they do?
Well, they build on it in Asia. First of all, you've got to expand over there. You've got to be over there, okay? And everybody's expanding like crazy because the market is really, like I said, it's huge. The issue today is, if you look at it, they need a luxury brand too, and Lincoln doesn't stack up to Cadillac. They got to turn Lincoln around because China is a big luxury market as well, and now you're going to be over there competing against themselves in a certain way because they sold off Volvo to the Chinese, and everybody's looking to expand the luxury business in China.
Yeah, actually, someone was telling me they just came back from China and they couldn't get a role. I mean, they went to a dealership or several dealerships in a city in China, and they couldn't keep the Rolls Royces stocked fast enough in these dealerships. So Ford, which had a partner, Mazda, right, in Asia. I mean, what do they need to do? Like, do they need another partnership? Do they need a stronger partnership? What do they need to do?
Yeah, I think they need to partner up with somebody else, okay, because they're late into the market. They need somebody who's over there with a presence over there. You've got VW looking to partner up with Suzuki. There are a lot of players over there. I mean, it's a huge, not just a huge volume market. There's a lot of domestic players in India and China, and I think they need to look to somebody that's going to give them the key into the market, jumpstart them, so to speak, and really make them move up the curve a lot faster.
And who would make sense?
Well, that I can't tell you. That I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of players out there in China. They've got a huge manufacturing base.
Is it almost too late, though, for Ford? I mean, GM, as you had mentioned, has such a big presence in China. Some of the Japanese automakers do as well. I mean, is it too late for Ford to squeeze in there?
Well, I think you hit the word right on the head. They're going to squeeze in there, all right? They are not going to be the big player that GM is, but they need that presence there anyway. I mean, the market is probably going to be 35 million units by the time we hit 2020. So there's a lot of volume there, all right? And so you've got to get a piece of it,
right.
And you got to look India, Russia, Brazil at the same time, and they're making those moves as well. I mean, 40% of all the global sales by 2020 are going to be in 4 countries, those 4 countries, the BRICS countries.
And Mulally is expected to say that they're targeting, I think, 8 million vehicles by the middle of this decade. That's huge. I think they now sell about 5 million or so, or something like that. I mean, how are they going to jump that high? I'm
not sure whether they're going to be able to hit that goal. I think we've got them more in the 6.5, 7 million unit range by the time we hit 2015, 2020. So, I mean, the issue is, like I said, there's a lot of players over there. While the world is growing, there's a lot of people looking for pieces of that pie. So I'm not sure if they're going to hit that goal, but they've got to keep pushing for it, and that's will keep them growing, keep their product line young, will force them to make the right decisions. You got to be nimble, and you've got to be smart. And this market always changes.
Well, you can't say he's not ambitious. He's certainly ambitious with his targets. George, thank you very much. Appreciate it.